With November winding down, Jared Mills is going all in. He hangs a new set in the middle of a small block of timber around which much of the deer movement on this property revolves.
Well, here we go. It's November 21st, nice cold morning. We're going to try to get going though. We have 2 stands to hang and gonna try to sneak in and get it done before it starts to get light. Well, the sun's just about to peek over the horizon here. Morning of November 21st. Zach and I are settled in here. This is a spot I told Zach on the way in here that I fully expect the wind to be swirling. It's really calm, first of all. Second of all, it's a forecasted straight east wind, so it's not a good combination, and plus we're kind of in a low bottom here, just basically a spot where a bunch of ditches come together. I've hunted close to this spot, about 40 yards up the hill, and had a really good hunt, but a lot of the action was down here and I couldn't shoot from up there. But this little spot, it's a small little piece of timber, and it seems to be a good transition area. I had on the other side of it the other morning. I saw some really good movement, so I at least know there's a lot of does in here, and I'm hoping that's the place to be. Like I said, it's a little bit aggressive coming up in here, but it's also November 21st, so I don't have much to lose. It's time to just get in what I believe are the best spots and hope that one of these big deer that I have on camera comes by. So that's what we're hoping for this morning. It's probably mid-20s. It feels good. Feels like a good November morning. You're good. Man. Just like that. I mean, the sun is just coming up. First deer we see, that's a stud of a deer. I'm not even 100% sure what deer that is. He's a stud. I thought I knew at first, but after looking at him, I'm not positive it's the deer I thought it was, but I wasn't sure we were even going to get a shot or what was going to happen. He walked right at the base of our tree, and thank God he turned when he was at probably 7 steps. Man, that happened quick for sure.
That's a stud, dude. That's a stud.
He just went down right there, and we just saw his head hit the ground. 40 yards away, maybe. That's it. It's over.
Close.
The wind on the morning of Jared's hunt was light and variable, with some swirling. These are tough conditions for controlling scent. With the help of his Ozonics HR300, Jared was able to eliminate enough of his odor to avoid detection. The buck ended up just 7 yards from the base of his tree. Jared hung his muddy vantage point stand in the dark when hunting this new spot. This is a very challenging way to hunt and requires just the right gear. Muddy vantage points are lightweight and perfect for hang and hunt situations such as this. Interestingly, once the deer get used to a blind in a certain field, you can move it at will and they won't react to the new location. This permits us to fine-tune our blind locations as the season advances, and nothing makes this easier than fitting a redneck blind with a redneck trailer stand and pulling it from place to place with your truck or ATV.
The last 2 seasons I've been wearing this Cabela's Lookout fleece. There's a couple things I like about it. The first thing is it's got a form-fitting sleeve. So I have no worries when I'm shooting my bow that the string's going to be hitting that sleeve, but it's also loose fitting enough in the chest that I can layer things throughout the season. That allows me to wear this from the opener all the way to the end of the rut and stay comfortable that whole time. It's also a really durable jacket that I've been wearing the last 2 seasons, and it's held up great through all the elements.
Well, we're at the base of the tree now, waited for Josh, so I got Zach and Josh both with me now. We saw him die right over there. He's about 40 yards away. Can't wait, and still not 100% sure what deer it is, so I can't wait to go take a look at him. Man, look at this deer. What a stud. Oh man. Look at that deer. I don't think I know that buck. Good Lord. He's very similar to the buck that I saw a couple weeks ago, but it's not him. Man. Well, we brought him down this clearing to give a little better look. Still hasn't quite hit me yet. It just happened all so fast this morning, but this is a deer that I don't know. I have some really good deer on camera on this farm, but this is one I don't know. You know, late November, this farm sets up pretty good as a rut farm, a cruising farm, and you know, it's not necessarily surprised that a random big deer showed up, but this farm is brand new to me. I've probably only have 8 or 10 hunts on it this year. A number of good hunts, but it's been a lot of fun to learn. I've kind of been taking every single hunt one by one and making adjustments based on, you know, what I saw that particular hunt. And this is a classic example of that. You know, we're only 20 yards from the tree stand, but this is my 3rd hunt in this little tiny piece of timber. And each time I kind of adjusted and found the right tree this morning, it worked out. It was a quick hunt. It was fun. I mean, it was pretty nerve-wracking when he was coming in. Didn't know if I was going to get a shot or where I was going to get a shot. He just started walking right at the base of the tree. But only deer we saw this morning. Awesome hunt. It's been a long November. It's been a grind. I've seen some really good deer. I've passed a couple decent bucks, but you know, deer this caliber is what I've been holding out for. So extremely happy with it. It was a fun hunt and looking forward to the late season.
Jared and Zach were perched in an open oak tree when this buck showed up. Their Realtree Extra Camo blended in well with the tree trunk and kept the two hidden long enough for Jared to get a shot. Jared has killed a number of deer this season with his Hoyt Defiant bow, including this brute of a buck. Jared has gained tremendous confidence in the bow, and on this calm morning he was able to come to full draw slowly and quietly with the giant buck only a few yards away. Rocket offers mechanical heads with cutting diameters ranging from 1 1/8 inch up to 2 inches. I have killed deer with all of them over the years, but my personal favorite remains the steelhead. I started shooting that head in 1997 and can honestly say it has never cost me an animal. I've had a lot of success hunting near food plots, but before you can hunt them, you have to get them growing. And the key to growing a good plot is getting the seed in the ground at the right depth and the right rate. RTP's Genesis No-Till Seeder has done a great job for me on our farm.
Jared's Easton Axis arrow quickly passed straight through this buck. These arrows are made of the toughest wrap carbon to provide super strong, hard-hitting durability, and they continue these features with a small diameter for good penetration.
The next day, Sean Fahrendorf and Zach Fahrendorf head back to the buck nest, their public land hotspot, hoping to see their number one target buck, Ray.
Well, it's November 22nd. Buck did exactly what we wanted him to do. Walked right down this waterway here, 22 yards. Real close to shooting him. Just didn't get me that excited. So Zach got some good footage of him. Hopefully another one will do that same thing. We're set up in the middle of the island in the buck nest right now. This is a stand that Zach and Aaron hung at the beginning of the season, and this will just be our second sit in here. We've just been, you know, every time we've hunted the buck nest, we've just been kind of plunking around the edges of it, but this is smack dab in the middle, so we've got a good wind blowing right back to the creek where we walked in at. Hopefully we can get another buck to do what that first 3-year-old did this morning. Should I shoot? Shot ground again. buck. Oh man. We didn't have any action there for, I don't know, an hour or so. The rain picked up. And I'm looking over here across the field and I see 2 deer running across it. And that's exactly what we thought was gonna happen. They were gonna come right down our trail, but that first doe and buck ran right downwind of us and any other deer that came in after them. We figured they were gonna follow that trail and get downwind. We were hoping to grunt to them and try and pull them in here before that happened, but fortunately, that is not what happened. Man.
Tough break, man.
Tough break. Awesome buck. Might have been Ray. Big deer.
Frigid Forage Big and Beastie has become one of our go-to food plot products because it is very versatile. It will grow in a wide range of conditions, and there is something in the blend that deer seek out during each part of the season.
In the excitement of encounters with whitetails, if it can go wrong, it eventually will. Using gear designed to make our bows as idiot-proof as possible is the only smart preparation. That's why we love the Fuse Ultra Rest. Once loaded, it's impossible for the arrow to be out of position no matter how much you twist and jostle around the tree.
Deer love trophy rocks, and that makes them a great choice to attract deer to your trail cameras. Rocks are much less expensive than maintaining bait sites, and each one lasts a long time, so you can make less trips to check your cameras, and that means less chance to bump deer. If you enjoy scouting with trail cameras, Trophy Rock is the perfect attractant. The Muddy ProCam 12 is one of the best trail camera values. It boasts top features at a reasonable price. With its fast trigger speed and time-lapse capability, it will work almost anywhere. Their ProCam 10 is even more affordable, but with its slower trigger time, it works best over a baited sight. There is a Muddy camera for any budget and any situation. As the giant buck Ray disappears into the woods, Sean and Zach have a sick feeling in their stomachs, knowing they had come so close. Had Ray taken the same trail the other bucks walked on earlier in the morning, the guys would likely be celebrating. Instead, now the buck knows he's being hunted and will be all the wiser for it. Before November closes out, the crew makes one more return trip to the buck nest. A mature 8-pointer they have history with makes an appearance, but Ray is a no-show. November is winding down, and all the deer, including the bucks, are moving back to food in an attempt to restore peak health before the impending winter. Mike Reed knows this transition is in the offing and heads toward one of his best food plots. On the 25th, he nearly gets a shot at a trashy 10-pointer that just started showing up on his farm. Though he doesn't fill a buck tag during the last days of the month, Mike is encouraged for what lies ahead for the late season. Now the calendar page flips. We lament the passing of the rut, but we also know that with the right conditions, the late season has much to offer. If you have good food sources, it can actually be more predictable than the rut, but it lacks the feel and the fervor of the previous weeks. December can sure be good, but given our choices, we would still rather be chasing November.